Right, good morning ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Thai Talk with Dan, the channel where we share your Thailand stories. Now today's story is very different to what we usually receive. It can be a little bit unbelievable, but if you listen closely, the guy appears to be very genuine about his experience with a Thai woman and her sister in Thailand. So without further ado, let's jump into this bizarre, crazy and unbelievable story. Hi Dan and listeners. Hearing the stories you've shared on your channel has been a hell of an insight and has helped me come to terms with the reality of dating a Thai girl. I broke up with my Thai ex 2 months ago, and I am pleased with the outcome because she revealed her true colours after 4 years. She was a gold digger. I got to experience the long game, but that's not why I am writing to you today. I'm here to tell you about my second Thai relationship. Many people have told me this story sounds like a plot for a movie because when I tell them, they have a hard time believing that it is true. Now, I loved my first trip to Thailand, so it was an easy decision to book a second trip shortly after. I flew to Thailand with a friend and we stayed in Bangkok for a week and then caught a taxi to Pattaya. It was our first experience there and it was absolutely mind-blowing. Both in our late 20s, cashed up, ready to experience this newfound adult amusement park. Our first night we went to Soi 6 and ended up at the bars on Second Road close to Soi 5. This is where my life changed forever as I meet a beautiful girl called Amy.
Shit, here we go again.
My friend was totally wasted, so I took him back to the hotel and left to meet up with her. The following 3 days I pretty much spent all my time with her exploring Pattaya and going to Koh Lan. When I flew back home we stayed in contact and talked every day. We had a great connection, laughing and carrying on. Now naturally I didn't want her to work in the bar anymore, so I started sending her a little money here and there when I could afford to, so she could stay at home in Isan to take care of her little 3-year-old daughter. One year later, I returned to Thailand and we went to her mum's place in the country so I could meet her family. They were so polite and respectful towards me, so I got along with them really well, even though I didn't understand anything they said. It's amazing what a little smile can do. Life in the country really opened my eyes to how happy people were with a simple life compared to my somewhat complicated Western life, and the whole experience really humbled me. By this stage, Amy had started building her little empire, farming pigs and ducks, so supporting her wasn't such a big deal financially. Everything was great, and then we went to Pattaya for a week to get wild and go party together. We had a lot of fun together and had fun enjoying each other too when we'd get back to the hotel in the early hours of the morning. I knew she was taking the pill, so I didn't cover up, and in hindsight I should have been more responsible, but when we're young, dumb and drunk, we do silly things. We live and we learn. She later told me she forgot to take her pill for a couple of days when we went out partying. A few months later, she called me and told me that she was pregnant, and I freaked myself out at this unexpected news. At first, I didn't want the baby, but a couple of days later, I called her and apologised for saying I didn't want to be a father and that I was ready to man up and be responsible. I didn't know what to do, but we'd figure it out together. But I don't think she believed me, cause 1 month later, she told me she had a complication and lost our child. Now the better part of a year passed, talking with her almost every day, and everything seemed normal, so I planned my return to Thailand. When I arrived, I planned to meet her at her friend's apartment in Pattaya. When I got out of the taxi, I was so happy to see her, but I felt something had changed. She didn't greet me in her usual quirky way and stood next to her friend instead of me. We got up to her friend's room and her friend left to leave us alone. Amy took a little time to warm up to me, but after that everything seemed to return to normal and we went out to have fun with her friends. We went travelling around Thailand, riding elephants in Koh Chang, finding quiet, beautiful white sand beaches, meeting fun and interesting people from all walks of life. We had an amazing holiday together, but unfortunately, it was time to go home again. 6 months flew by, and one April Sunday morning at 11 a.m, she called me and told me that she needed to tell me something. I remember that phone call like it was yesterday. She said that she had developed some serious feelings for me and didn't want to lose me. I thought to myself, what? We've been in love for years, so what are you talking about? Amy proceeded to tell me a year ago her sister passed away during her pregnancy and that I had also lost my unborn child. I didn't quite understand what she was telling me until she explained that she wasn't Amy, but in fact her identical twin sister. Amy told her twin sister Som to start dating me because she knew I was a decent guy that would take care of her well. In fact, I had been talking with her twin sister over the phone for months without ever realising, but Som knew everything about me. It turned out that Amy had medical issues she never told me about. She had an oversized heart and problems with her blood where she needed to have regular blood transfusions to stay healthy. So in that phone call, I learned that not only had I lost my sweetheart, but my child as well. So I had been dating a stranger for over 1 year. I was entirely crushed and in shock. At first I thought this couldn't be real, as I never saw these two girls together. So I asked Som for a photo of them together, and all Som could show me was a photo of them together as kids. 2 weeks later, I flew to Thailand to meet up with the girl I thought I was totally in love with. We talked and she explained to me that when they were little, Mama and Papa separated. Papa moved to Bangkok with Som and Mama stayed in the country with Amy. The twins stayed in contact with each other secretly without their parents knowing and helped each other out when they needed to. Everything started to make sense. Like when last year I thought something was up when we met, it wasn't even her. She showed me photos of her sister's funeral, and unfortunately, after checking things out and connecting all the dots, this nightmare was actually reality. I flew back home and after about 1 month I ended the relationship with Som. I should have ended it when I was with her, but it was hard to let go, to be totally honest. There's plenty of other twists and turns in this story, like for example, Amy's daughter wasn't even hers. It was Som's daughter she was taking care of because her father threatened to disown her. So after Amy passed away, Som had to move to her mother's place in the country to become the mother of her own child. I really thought these types of stories only existed on the Jerry Springer show, but as we've heard on your channel, it happens a hell of a lot in the kingdom of Thailand. That's the tale of the twins. Don't date bar girls. Right, thank you very much for emailing your story in. Now guys, what do you make of this story? I mean, yeah, it can come across as quite unbelievable, like it was made up, but I can genuinely state this email was sent in to me and it does seem pretty credible, and that is why I'm sharing it on the channel today. The way I see it, you know, I am a bit of a pessimist, I suppose, and the way I would see it is that her sister Amy had something good going on with this foreigner and he was helping out financially and he was a good guy, etc, etc. So if her twin sister could keep that going and keep a foreigner going with her, it would help support the kid and it would help her have a better life, I suppose. That's kind of the way that I'm leaning towards what I've heard within this story. But what do you guys really think about this? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Do you think the reasons of why the sister decided to continue with this foreign man, do you believe that there was something else going on? Please let us know down in the comments. But guys, I'd also like you to try and imagine how you would feel if that had happened to you. He was apparently very much in love with this Thai woman and then finds out that the girl that he's with is not that Thai woman, it's her sister, and that he had lost his unborn child. Guys, that's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to take in. So I can understand why he ran into problems in regards to getting rid of Som, the twin sister, and saying that he couldn't date her, he couldn't continue, it's unethical, blah, 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 blah. But it just goes to show the lengths of what these women can go to in order to maintain financial security, because that's what it is in my eyes at the end of the day. Crazy stuff, guys, crazy stuff. Now, if you've got your own true to life Thailand story and you're willing to share it on the channel, then as always, guys, get your emails sent in to thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. And guys, if you're currently dating a Thai woman right now and you've not been dating long and you feel like you're in love, you're totally smitten, you can't stop yourself, everything's going too fast, all I can say to you is slow down, calm down, take things slowly. And if you're not living here, then I would suggest not to date a woman from overseas, especially here in Thailand, especially if you're sponsoring her and you're helping her out financially, because it's not a nice feeling to find out later on down the road that she's been with multiple other men, or she's got a husband, or she's got another boyfriend, or whatever the case may be, and you've spent an absolute fortune over years or months, etc. It's not a nice feeling at all. So don't date a Thai woman unless you're living here in Thailand or she is based in your own home country. And if you do date her, then please do take things slowly. Apart from that, guys, hope everybody is having a wonderful week. Stay safe, take it easy, and ciao for now. Bye bye.